your WXXV News 25 forecast first.
Well, it was a nice day, and that translated into a nice evening across the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Perfect for Friday Night Lights and perfect to head into your overnight hours and into your weekend as well. We'll take a look at that and the tropics, but more importantly, Anthony and Jevin are ready to roll. Friday Night Showcase starts right now.
It's week 4 and the fans were out in full force for high school football. Buckle up because this is Friday Night Showcase.
High school football is everything. Hey, hey, let's go. High school football is everything. Hey, hey, let's go.
The WXXV High School Football Friday Night Showcase starts now. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent Care.
Hello and welcome to week 4 of Friday Night Showcase. I'm Jevin McCoskey.
And I'm Ansley Brent.
We have a lot of great Coast High School football action to get to, so let's not waste any time, right, Ansley? Let's go ahead and jump right into it as the Stone Tomcats hit the road to face off against St. Martin and the Yellow Jackets led by head coach Ty Smith. St. Martin looking to protect home field while Stone was looking to grab the first win of their season. First quarter action, quarterback Kevin Marshall rolls to his right and takes off, but is met by Dalton Stringer in the hole for no gain. Third down now. Marshall tries to get the first down with his feet, but is once again stopped short of the line to gain. Stone takes over on the punt. First possession for the Tomcats, and Xander Howard finds his man near the sideline who makes the grab, and the defender gets hit big before the ball pops out, goes out of bounds. Very next play, Howard's going to roll to his right and find Jaden Collins, who does the rest himself. Collins takes this one 35 yards to the house to open up the scoring and gives Stone a 7 to lead with just under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. How will the Yellow Jackets respond? On third down, handoff to Seth Crockett, who runs hard up the middle but comes up just a few yards short. St. Martin tries to fake the punt, but Stone isn't fooled one bit as Fabian Dawkins comes up with the huge tackle behind the line to gain. This one was all Stone when I had to leave, and it looks as if it remained that way throughout the rest of the game. Stone picks up their first win of their season, while St. Martin drops to 500 on the year. St. Martin will look to bounce back next week against East Central, while the Stone Tomcats will look to keep the train rolling against Equipment.
Nice job, Jevin. And for our second game, we head to Pearl River County as Picayune welcome the Gulfport Admirals. The Maroon Tide are looking to make it 5 straight wins over the Admirals and their 3rd consecutive win overall, while Gulfport is looking for a bounce-back win after their loss in Week 3. Now both the Maroon and White and Blue and Orange entering the field 2-1, but only one will leave 3-1. Who will it be? Well, I think it's time to find out. Picayune starting things off with their favorite weapon in the form of senior Darrell Smith, and it's a quick first down for the Maroon Tide and company. Check that out, and you'll see that quite often. But they're also in Admiral Trent Pettis' company, and he quickly makes himself known with a stop and force the Tide to kick a field goal, but that field goal is no good. So Dane Sullivan with the snap finds Cooper Crosby to his left. He cruises by, lowers his shoulder, and moves those chains. Sullivan next up with a grab yet again, but this time a one-hand grab places the arms of Crosby, and he's got hops, hurdles the defender while picking up back-to-back Admiral first downs. Admirals moving like clockwork. Sullivan to Deans now, but the ball pops out. Tide defense swarms that ball, and it's the first turnover of the game in favor of the Tide, but they quickly go 4 and out. Gulfport now with good field position, and they use it to their advantage. It's Trayvon Deans deep for a first down. Sullivan now to his guy. Check that out. He's just still going. And then he finds his other guy, the Corian Payton, who goes wide right, passes one defender, then another, and he literally drags the last one into the end zone with him. It's a touchdown for the Admirals. Quick 7-0 for the Blue and Orange. Admiral defense put that anchor down yet again, and the Admirals are back in business with the quarterback Sullivan back to C squared, which is good about always as a result. This is a pretty darn good example of that powers through that sea of maroon, refuses to go down, and could go all the way, and he does. Back-to-back touchdowns for Gulfport as they lead the Tide early 14-0 at Lee Triplett Stadium. But don't you forget about that Ute weapon I told you about earlier. Brandon Parker Jr. to that guy, Darrell Smith, and he breaks 2 tackles, and it is absolutely hype after that first down, but come on, as he should be. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Parker Jr. with the shuffle back, and Smith comes out of nowhere and another huge first down. He would go on to score that drive, first down for the Tide after that, but it wouldn't be enough as the Admirals cruised through the rest of the game like Crosby did later in that game. Jevin, 92-yard touchdown run.
Wow.
Literally as I was leaving. Thanks a lot, C-Squared. But the Admirals go on to defeat the Picayune Maroon Tide for the first time in a long time with a final score of 41-21. Admirals looking mighty fine this 2024 season, but it will be exciting to see where both teams end up.
Yeah, Ansley, actually the first time in 6 games that the Gulfport Admirals were able to come out with a win after playing Picayune. Well, we're going to get right back into it with the Biloxi Indians. They are coming off a massive Week 3 road win against the George County Rebels. The Indians were back at home in Week 4 to take on one of the most talented teams in the entire Magnolia State in the Hattiesburg Tigers. Let's see how it all went down. First-year head coach Jamie DuBose looking to lead his team to victory over one of the hottest teams in the entire state. The defense came to play for the Indians in this one. Second quarter action, Willie Polk Jr. gets in the backfield and gets the running back dropped down for a loss. What's better than one tackle for loss? How about another one on the very next play? This time it's Coden Anderson who wraps up the running back in the backfield, and all of a sudden Biloxi's getting the ball back with over 3 minutes until the halftime break. Ensuing drive, quarterback Wyatt Pyron drops back and fires a strike to his receiver, but that would be short of the line to gain. Tigers looking to add points before the break, and they dig deep into their bag of tricks. The double pass is sent deep down the field to 4-star wideout Tristan Keys, who makes a ridiculous catch over the defender to set up the Tigers deep in the red zone. We're going to take another look at this one. There's a reason he's a 4-star recruit. Exactly, Sportson. You might see that one a little bit later. He makes plays just like this one. Just 1 second remaining in the half. Tigers looking to steal a lead before heading to the locker room, but the kick is wide left, and Biloxi Indians lead 7-6 at the break. Jamie DuBose, said when he was hired that the team is going to compete week in and week out. That's exactly what they did tonight. Although it didn't end in a win, the Indians proved they are the real deal here on the coast. Hattiesburg wins a close one, 12-7. Biloxi will put this game in the rearview mirror as they take on Pascagoula next week.
Yes, very talented Hattiesburg team. They just defeated my Oak Grove Warriors last week, but hey, there's a reason there's always the next week.
We're not going to talk about
But the Ivory Warriors, on the other hand, the Ivory Warriors and Pascagoula Panthers both came out of the gates on fire this season, winning their first 2 games. But both teams dropped their Week 3 matchups and were looking to find their way back in the win column in Week 4. So let's see who is able to do just that as the Warriors hit the road to take on the Panthers. The battle of the 2-1s, it's a party in Gula to start the week as they celebrate their homecoming. Getting this one to start, the Panthers driving Amari Jackson, busting out of a big run, busting up the hole. Coach Sims likes what he's seeing, and I sure do too. Pretty sure you know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jackson carrying the rock again, and just look at him. Legs still turning, dragging guys, getting the extra push from his line. And this is just bully ball right here. Same thing, same outcome. Warriors look like they made a stop in the backfield. Jackson says, nah bro, tutty. First drive score for the Panthers. Warriors would try to respond next drive in Gula's territory, but the ball is loose. Panthers, Tamaro Johnson hops on it, and Gula out to a hot start on its homecoming night. But that moment would come to an end quickly as quarterback Silas Porter is dropping back, looking to make a play, but the D-Ville's Joshua Johnson sees it all the way, making the dive and catch. Warriors would eventually get it going on the offensive side. Andre Crosby getting in open field, showing off the acceleration D-Ville in business. Jeremiah Butler would get the job done. 7-7 to make this one a ball game now. But Pascagoula would rally off 14 more points to take this one 21-7 on homecoming night to move to 3-1 on the season.
I'll tell you what, Ainsley, we have so many talented players here on the coast. Silas Porter, one of my favorites to get out and watch. I love watching Pascagoula games because he plays the quarterback position exactly. I'll let you say it. Say it again. Say it again.
To the top.
There you go. Say the top. Obviously, the Southern Miss commit is just great at what he does. I love watching him. Well, just some great games so far here on Week 4 of Friday Night Showcase. Close games, big wins, tough losses. We've had it all so far, but there's more to come. Coming up on the other side of this quick timeout, we take a look and see if the Biloxi Indians could walk away with the win. Actually, we already took a look at that game. We had to switch some things up. We're going to take a look at some other games coming up after this quick timeout.
Plus, we head to Harrison County to see the St. Stanislaus Rocketshaws with the Pass Christian Pirates. See who came on top after this quick timeout. This is the Friday Night Showcase.
Friday Night Showcase. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent. And now, your weather authority.
Good evening, South Mississippi. It's been a beautiful day across the Mississippi Gulf Coast now. Yes, it was a little warm throughout the day, and by a little, oh yeah, it was straight up hot through the middle part of your Friday. But it's really nice, really calm through the evening tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at that radar. Now, don't be fooled. We have a lot of questions on social media and email about this red, well, That's not red, that's blue and green. See, that's how insignificant it is. That's just moisture across the area. No showers, no thunderstorms to talk about right now. Here's a look at your daily climate history for this specific day. All the way back in 1998, Tropical Storm Hermine made landfall in Louisiana. We had not one, but 2 tornadoes, one in Poplarville and one near Bay St. Louis. All the way until this point, fast forward to today, and what we're looking at, fall just around the corner. This is called the Terminator. This is the line that separates light and darkness, and if you look at it, it's almost straight up vertical up and down here. That tells us that the equinox is almost upon us. Fall arrives officially on Sunday at 7:43 a.m. We'll be kicking it off with some decently comfortable temperatures you'll see in just a moment. Here's what you've got to start your official fall weekend here. More sunshine coming up, temperatures cooling, slowly feeling more like fall, and that tropical outlook the National Hurricane Center put out just a few hours ago. We'll take a look at that as well. Temperatures across the board, definitely warm, but here in Gulfport we've seen some dry air throughout the day. And as that's the case, here's what you're looking at in terms of temperatures right now. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, the lower 80s in areas like Biloxi, and onward through the feels like temperature. This is what you're seeing. Just a little bit warmer down along the coast, then a little bit further towards the north in the upper 70s is what you see as well. Futurecast not showing much of anything. Let's go ahead and jump on into that 7-day forecast. Luckily, Mother Nature cooperates this weekend. How about a little PSL pumpkin spice latte weather? I put it on there for good reason. Will y'all enjoy one of those?
Sir, yes, sir, and welcome back to Friday Night Showcase. Starting things back, the Goshen Gators are coming off a thrilling overtime win against Pascagoula in Week 3. Meanwhile, the Moss Point Tigers are still in search for their first win of the 2024 season. So let's take a look and see if the Tigers could protect home field or if the Gators played spoiler on the road in district play. Getting this one started, Moss Point down 21-0, and with less than 6 minutes left in the second quarter, Tigers trying to get a stop, but the Gators are driving. Quarterback Trey Irving hits his wideout Devin Garrett for the big gain. A couple plays later, Irving using his legs, this time getting close to that goal line marker, just inches from punching it in the sideline. And when a man is on his mission, he's on a mission. Irving twirling in the end zone off defenders. And Goshen now up 21-0. And before things would get better, well, they get worse for the Tigers. Quarterback Kevin Ford swallow up in the backfield, dropping back by the Gators. Malik Ward getting the sack to force a punt. And the Tigers just trying to make a routine punt, and man, snap goes over the punter's head. And Gators are back in business once again. Tigers would bend and not break though, forcing a stop and turnover on downs with a sack after a 4th and long to get the ball back. Tigers running its 2-minute drill now to get a score before the half for a nice patch to Condarius McCorvey, trying to move the chains, and why not do it again? Watch this monster play as Ford drops back, hitting McCorvey for a bomb. Tigers adding 6 to that board now, and the Dantzler Stadium is going wild. Before half, scoring with 18 seconds remaining on that clock. But the Gators would run away with this one, taking it 48-33. Moving to 3-1 on the season as Moss Point is still in search of a win on the season. But hey, what a game there. I love a high-scoring game.
Well, if you love high-scoring games, you're going to like this one as well. And if you like state records being broken, stay to the end of this one. St. Stanislaus and Pass Christian are both winners of their last 2 games and looking to make it 3 in a row in Week 4. The Rocket Shaws hit the road to face the Pirates at Francis McDonald Stadium. Let's take a look at those highlights. The Rocket Shaws hit the field first to get ready for Week 4 action. Pass Christian followed, hit the field shortly after. Let's go ahead and get into highlights in this one. Much like the Biloxi defense we showed you earlier, the Pirates defense came to play in this one. Here, 2 run plays get stuffed for little to no gain to start the game off. But if it's, you said it saying earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it was broke, but St. Stanislaus, they fixed it because on this 3rd down, it was a different story. Quarterback Samuel Grant pulls out the do-it-yourself kit and picks up the 1st down and a lot more on the ground. Nothing came from it, though. Nothing came from that long run. Pass Christian ball and threatening now. Quarterback Paris Trevelyan drops back and finds Lathan Lewis in the back of the end zone for the touchdown to get the scoring started in this one. Extra point is good. Pass Christian leads 7-0. Later in the half, it's Jacquez Alexander's turn in the end zone to make it a 2-score game. This one seemed to be over after the 1st quarter of action. Pirates led 20-0 after this one. Things did stay the same throughout the remainder of this one, but look, we don't have the final score up there. It's because it just came in. But what also just came in is the fact that Evan Evan Noel made a 61-yard field goal. And when he did that, not only did he make 61, right? That's an achievement in and of itself, but it's a state
I whispered.
record.
61!
Yeah, go ahead, say it. It's a state record. Congratulations to Evan Noel. We had to write it down just to make sure that we had it right. 61 yards. I still can't believe it.
My very
That is an
first student
incredible-
athlete of the week as well.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and add that to the
Rightfully
list,
so.
right?
Come on,
that,
why'd you
that
do
goes
that
right.
earlier?
That goes right
I wouldn't be
underneath.
surprised if he even breaks that later on.
I know,
This is
yeah.
week
I
4.
would.
And the
Arkansas,
guys boot.
Arkansas commit.
He's got a boot.
Yeah, you got a boot. You
Well,
got a boot.
But we've also hit halftime of the Friday Night Showcase, and we are going to take a quick timeout. But when we come back, Devin will bring you the Friday Night Showcase top 5 plays of the night. Stick around. This is Friday Night Showcase.
Friday Night Showcase. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent Care. Friday Night Showcase. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent Care.
Welcome back to Friday Night Showcase. With game highlights and scores in the rearview mirror, it's time to take a look at Friday Night Showcase top 5 plays of the week. Week 4 had plenty of plays to choose from when looking around South Mississippi. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Coming in at number 5. It would have been higher, but we are saving those spots for our Coast athletes. Hattiesburg wide receiver Tristan Keys goes up and grabs the double pass, looking like vintage Randy Moss. If this play is number 5, I can't wait for you all to see what's coming up at number 1. Jumping to number 4 on Friday Night Showcase, top 5 plays takes us to St. Martin as the Stone Tomcats were running wild on the Yellow Jackets. Jaden Collins takes the short pass and goes all the way to the house for a 35-yard score. That opened up the scoring in the game. Blazing speed that allowed Collins to find pay dirt. Jumping to number 3 now, under a minute before the halftime break, Kevin Ford drops back and finds Kendarius McCorvey over the middle for the long touchdown to send his team into the break on a high note. Incredible play when their team needed it most, and that is why number 3, and this play takes on the top 5 list. Number 2 on our top 5 plays belongs to Gulfport's Cooper Crosby. We said it earlier, he leapfrogs over his defender on his way to a first down. How about the performance from the Admirals as a whole, winning a tough road game matchup against the Picayune Maroon Tide?
The play of the day brought to you by Gulf Coast Mitsubishi.
Our top play and the WXXV play of the day takes us back to the Gulfport and Picayune game. WXXV's game of the week did not disappoint here. DeCorian Payton takes the handoff, turns into a human joystick, and finds his way into pay dirt to extend the Gulfport lead. This spot could have gone to the entire Admiral team, as I mentioned earlier, but this play is your Friday Night Showcase number 1 play and the WXXV play of the day.
So I'm the WXXV shooter of the day. Is that right? Thank you, Devin. Well, multiple plays deserving of that number 1 spot this week, but there can only be one. And coming up after this quick timeout, we take a look at some of the best high school football fans in South Mississippi. And it's all coming up on Friday Night Showcase.
Friday Night Showcase. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent Care. And now, your weather authority. Brought to you by Southern Charm Furniture, where quality and design matter.
Thanks for sticking around South Mississippi. Tonight, you'll see temperatures in the lower 70s, clear and calm, patchy fog possible because the wind is just that low across the area coming right out of the south. But more importantly, social media is abuzz with the tropics, and for good reason. The National Hurricane Center has this area in an orange level 2 out of 5. Well, that's a 2 out of 3 shade. I cannot count tonight, and I cannot read those colors on the screen. It's an orange shade, and it's 2 out of 3 on your screen because that outlook by the National Hurricane Center outlines this potential for development over the next 7 days. And as it is outlined for potential, we're waiting for a low to develop in this area. It would come in this area right here, and most likely it would move at least to some degree towards the north. Now, whether it moves more towards the north and east or more northerly, that remains to be seen. We have to wait for that low to develop, but your tropical outlook looks like what you're seeing on your screen as of now. And the flyby does show some convergence starting in this particular area right here. We'll continue to watch this over the weekend because that is the area in which something would come over the next few days. It looks like that will take the name Helene, but it has to form something before a named storm. So just hold your horses. Don't buy into the hype just yet.
I've got the reins. And welcome back to week 4 of Friday Night Showcase. And as we get deeper and deeper into the high school football season, it's clear the teams are starting to find their groove on the gridiron. But they aren't the only ones making their way into mid-season form.
We saw some student sections this afternoon that could give some college programs a real run for their money with all the enthusiasm that they have for their team. And I know they will be out in full force week to week, and I am continually impressed by all the students that go out and support. You did tell me from the very beginning. You told me, but I'm so impressed as they continue to cheer on their classmates and take the football field underneath those Friday night lights every single week. Let's take a look at some of the best that we saw from week 4. Again, I saw a couple bubbles. I saw some minions. It must have just been a yellow theme night. There's a kid dressed in a banana suit.
Ooh, Aloha.
Aloha is right. That was over at St. Martin. No, that was not St. Martin. That was a different game that I didn't go to. Was that your game?
That wasn't my game, but I
They're
like
out
it.
in full force. They're out in full force.
Road
That
work
was my
ahead.
game.
I
Road
sure
work
hope
ahead,
it does.
construction. We all have those signs. That's a nice callback to a nice little Vine or TikTok, whichever that is. Again, I am continually impressed. And I know you told me from the very beginning, and I'll let you tell me again right now about all these good fans.
I told you.
Yeah,
But
that's
I mean,
easy enough,
I
right?
dare you to try to say Bubbles angry.
Bubbles angry?
Like, say it angrily.
Oh, but
You can't.
no,
It's
you
impossible.
can't. Whenever I look at the people, the student section, you got me with that. That was funny. Whenever you look at the student sections
Oh,
that are
Pastor
up there,
Shan, that's who it is. I saw a
Pastor
shirt.
Shan, there we go. But like I said, when you look at the kids that are out here and you see the bubbles, it's hard to be angry anyway, because they come out in full force every single week. These aren't just the first 3 rows of the student sections
no.
that are full.
It is
it's
deep.
It's from bottom to top to bottom. There's students throughout the entire thing.
Sure will.
And I know we're going to see it again next week as well.
You sure will. And they're going to get bigger and bigger, too.
Yeah, as the season
Just
goes on.
wait until the playoffs come on.
I know.
And we were already told about Pastor Christian's tailgate.
Yeah.
I said, wait until homecoming. That's when it gets crazy. Well, we are heading into the 4th quarter of Friday Night Showcase, so don't go anywhere just yet. Coming up after this quick timeout, we take a look at scores at 8 other games from around the Magnolia State. And for now, this still is the Friday Night Showcase.
Friday Night Showcase. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent Care. Friday Night Showcase. Brought to you by AlphaCare Urgent Care.
Well, Ansley, we have checked the highlight box for all of the games that we were able to get to this evening, but there were some other games that happened during week 4 with coast teams on the road and at home. Let's take a look at the final scores from all around the coast. The Van Cleve Bulldogs hit the road to take on George County, and the Rebels still no deuce night for them after a week 3 injury. The Bulldogs would pull off what I would say an upset, even though Deuce Knight's still not on the field, but it's still an upset as they go on to win 27-24. West Harrison welcomed Bay High to town as the Hurricanes pick up a win on homecoming, defeating Bay High big in this one, 55-0. Hancock and the Hawks were looking for their 2nd win of the season as they welcomed Petal to Brett Favre Field, but they would drop this one 49-7. Petal's a very good team. I don't think this reflects Hancock as much as it reflects Petal.
You won't catch me saying that ever in my life.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So we'll move on. Christian Collegiate Academy welcomed Bensford Christian for their 2nd home game of the season as CCA would drop this one 30-6. Ansley?
All right, next few we have Resurrection Catholic hitting the road to face Mount Olive. Both teams looking for their first win, and it was the Eagles who came out on top, winning 42-14. And shout out Carla Taylor, my student athlete of the week. He plays football, but y'all, he's a racer too.
Does a little bit of everything.
So if you missed it, go check out my student athlete of the week. There's a little shameless plug. But also, the Fighting Irish of St. Patrick High School were looking for their first win of the season, but the quest continues after falling to Yazoo City 48-7. But now the Greyhounds, Ocean Springs, went on the road and got a win over a very good Natchez Bulldog team to get their first win of the season.
Getting a monkey off their back, right?
I mean, yeah.
You had to find the first win. Okay, now she's making monkey noises. It's late, guys. We're ready to go home and go to
but
bed.
in a blowout of 49-16, and I saw a picture. They're eating pizza on the bus. That's
National Pizza Day.
No way.
It is, and that's why they're enjoying some
Where's
pizza.
my pizza?
Well, I don't have any either.
You are the sports director. I just work for you. Anyway, the East Central Hornets went on the road to face North Pike, and East Central would get their first win in this one with a final score of 22-6. And last but certainly not least, Poplarville stays as the only undefeated team remaining in South Mississippi as they defeat the Pearl River Blue Devils 41-28. Applause to those Hornets,
Yeah,
man.
Poplarville Hornets, they're going to keep it rolling throughout the entire thing.
We got to try to go next week.
We
gotta
do.
find
You
them.
know what?
Are they away?
If they're home, we're there.
we're there.
If they're home, we are there. But before we close out the Week 4 of Friday Night Showcase, we want to ask you, the fans, what game should be the game of the week for Week 5? For today, we're going to take a look at a handful of Week 5 matchups. The poll will be open all week long, and whatever game is voted the highest will be our game of the week. There are a handful of Week 5 matchups that could win. Biloxi hits the road next weekend to take on Pascagoula. Picayune and Ocean Springs battle it out at Hugh Pepper Field. That will be a good one. That is my early pick for game of the week. May the game between the Van Cleve Bulldogs and the Hancock Hawks, or is it St. Martin and the Yellow Jackets as they travel to East Central to take on the Hornets? You can let us know by going to WXXB25.com, click on the WXXB question of the day, or you can use that QR code at the top right of your screen. Thank you so much. Week 4 in the books, Week 5 coming up next week. Thank you for joining us.